So today we're looking at the best players under 100,000 coins. We've kind of capped it off 100 to around about 35, give or take. We've obviously got more on the 50 and above, just because we'll do another one with 50 and below. If you'd like to see that, leave a comment down below just saying 50. Why not? Now, obviously, we've got a lot of players that are starting to fluctuate in prices massively, and I kind of want to go through a few of the ones I think are well worth the coins, or at least worth a look at, because we are now starting to get more live version cards. So for instance, the Champions Leagues, the prime time, as well as then the captains of football. They're going to again potentially be another live variation that's going to be more domestic league rather than European UEFA league. So the first player in here. So if you're looking for coins, head over to eldorado.gg. There is huge amounts of verified sellers on Eldorado, and there is a money back guaranteed by TradeShield. If that's not enough, there is 24/7 live support and also plenty of reviews across websites that will definitely put your mind at ease. And as always, before you check out, make sure that you are using the code JT11 for 5% off every single order. Back to the video. Easy option. I think he's been fantastic in game. He obviously is having a very up and down start for City, but he definitely started the season being very interesting to see how he will really mould into this City side. But in game, him and De Jong together are a beautiful partnership. The tiki-taka between them, the stats that are obviously going to lead up in this card. Once we see him get to the real heights of that 90 and above, maybe a team of the season. We're talking very early on here. This could be a very nice card to say the least. He's 6'1". He's obviously got himself the 4-4. You have got the 87 cornerstone, but personally for me, they are too expensive in general for just a slight upgrade, and naturally they were very difficult to get in general. But you throw the anchor on him. Footbin also have got a kind of a best ratings as well for what positions. I think that is going to be brilliant. Obviously taken a little bit from foot.gg, but it's not necessarily anything that we didn't know already. So already a great start into it. We then have Wilson, Sophia Wilson, or Smith if you may have known her from previous games. Incredible striker. Now, yes, slightly coming down in terms of price. She was at the tip of the top. She was just at a massive price at the start of the game. And slowly but surely, we are starting to see the decrease of golds. And this is where I'm now interested, because she was quite literally 400,000 coins, for even 300 still at the start mid of October. Now we've got her coming in at 36,000 coins. A lot of people are going to be able to afford a lot of these gold players now. I want to see where this next progression does really hit us. We've got plenty of campaign picks that have allowed us to get players that maybe we shouldn't have as such. Like I've got a Due and a Nico Williams just from doing them campaign picks. Now they are expensive players. Like we look at Due in general, a solid 85, but we got 339. I think he was coming in, I want to say I got him around here, so he was coming in at 400. Nico Williams, another exceptional one. Obviously cornerstone is going to be a bit more expensive just because it was so difficult to get, but you look at his base stats, like it's just a 1 on everything. From 51k to 950. He was a little bit later. I think he was kind of around about here. He was definitely over a mil. And I definitely wouldn't spend 1 million coins on him, but I'll absolutely take it. So they're going to be interesting to see where they go. Now, one that I've always been interested in, because Jude always starts this way. Like, he starts with some very good base stats. Dribbling, obviously, is phenomenal. Bit of shooting, bit of passing. Obviously, losing out on the crossing and the free kick accuracy. That's fine. Relentless. Not the greatest play style, but we can kind of get it working. And then you are looking at like either an engine to make him more attacking mid. He is obviously more of a playmaker plus rather than a defensive. And then when we get team of the year, team of the season, high-end 90s, we see him as an all-round box-to-box. But right now, I think when we look at midfielders in terms of the cam, he definitely has got a bit about him. The only thing that you could kind of say with him is if we do eventually get to a point where we need to add a playstyle plus, he's going to be a little bit behind on that, because naturally 90 rateds are not going to add playstyles just yet, or at least be able to add a second one, because that's going to be at least after team of the year, and even then possibly a little bit further down the line for someone like Jude. So we're praying that we do end up with the 91 that is more affordable for everybody. So we will see where he does come in, but a solid option for a starter, especially if you are looking for somebody that can run that midfield. Now, Van der Ven is a fan favourite of mine this year. He is most definitely being a solid centre-back. Him and someone like Saliba, have been a great partnership together. We have got multiple cards from him, which is totally off compared to what we saw last year. I want to say last year was like, I don't even know if he did get an upgrade until footies. I don't know if we've got, where's the generations? Here we go. Did we even get anything? We got, oh yeah, it was this one. So we got this, and then it was a while till obviously they won it. We got the 96 and then the 97. So we got the 86, and that was it. I don't think we could even have added an evolution or a playstyle for quite some time with him. So this year, already getting 2 versions of him. A man of the match performance, especially from that goal that he scored, was sublime, hence the rapid plus, which is fair enough. And then obviously we've got the team of the week, which he did pretty well for as well, which we can't complain about. Stats wise, looking impeccable across the board. You look at this man of the match one like that, that's a brilliant card. That's more of a centre mid more so than anything. So it is very interesting to see nonetheless. Obviously, we are looking more at a sentinel more than anything. You don't really need too much on that pace. You could still throw the anchor on him if you really, really want to, but it isn't going to make that crazy much of a difference. So just in general, the 82 is still fantastic and even has some evolutions that you could throw into him. Now, it's not going to be anything groundbreaking, but with the little upgrades that we can get, even if it is the roll plus, like we've got defender, we can add the defender plus on him, add a solid roll. It's one thing that I'm liking with these minute upgrades. They're not necessarily upgrading the overall. You add a playstyle to him, you add a weak foot if you really want. It's going to make these cards so much better even at the base form as well. So definitely worth your money to have a look at him. Naturally, we did already talk about Nico Williams. I really like him, either super sub or in the main team. He has been brilliant. The Rapid Plus is a lovely one this year. I think it's got a lot of people's fan favourites. I think last year we was at Quick Step more than anything. Maybe we turned back with a lot of these game changes, but Rapid was the year before in my opinion. Whereas this year I'm definitely loving Rapid quite a lot, especially if you can juke your opponents. A lot of people are kind of now, instead of just running with a defender kind of like in your path, they're running just straight at you. A sidestep, knock it past him with a rapid. He has been brilliant at it. So he is most definitely one of my more favoured wingers, especially La Liga in general. They've got a lot of good players, as we'll see throughout this. Now, we already mentioned him as well. Saliba is possibly my favourite centre-back. I think you've got the choice now. I really like Pacho, but I don't think he's in this contention. I think for me, gold-wise specifically, Saliba is definitely up there, potentially 1 or 2. Marquinhos, and to be honest, we are taking a bit out of pro tips as well. They are definitely using him a lot more this year, and I do think Van de Ven and Pacho would be kind of my 4 at the minute that I'm really enjoying as a very bog-standard base gold version. Now, there's going to be loads of upgrades. Obviously, Saliba's got his upgrade here. Again, whether you think it's worth the upgrade, 1.15 mil is a lot of money. Whether he gets up to that 90, I think if Arsenal's form do continue, they should potentially win the whole lot in terms of his upgrades, not the actual UCL. That will be an interesting run as we get towards the end of it. We also then have a bit of Nuno Mendes, starting to see a lot more left backs in play now from like Calafiore's SBC. Then we obviously had got Lizarazu from the base hero matchday pick. We've had then potentially many upgrades like a Cucurella sort of vibe coming in. So it is kind of naturally bringing Nuno Mendes back down to earth as such. But you throw like a Hakimi the other side, a Marquinhos, a Pacho, a midfielder like a Vitinha, João Neves. There's a lot of players that can link with him. Even then, you throw in just a couple of Portuguese players and you're doing absolutely wonderfully with him. He's still one of my more favoured left backs. The only thing that will kind of take him out for me personally is my game style. I really like a fullback plus. So the fact that he's very much more an attacking wing back, he's going to be much better on a different style, especially if you are utilising that attacking wing back. So it is interesting to see if you had a 5-back potential. That could be where he really does suit down to the ground. Now, obviously, we do need to talk about Virgil still. I don't think he's a bad centre-back by any means. I don't think we've just chucked him to the side and say he's completely useless. He's still a massive presence when it comes to being in-game, and I do think he will have a lot of upgrades that will make him to his best. I just think the gold isn't as necessary as before. Like when we had previously, Conte is a great example. We had like a solid 4 maybe even 5 years of his Chelsea variant that was just the best. In terms of gold CDM, you knew that Conte is that position. Virgil, most definitely, for the past couple of years, has been that centre-back. You look at his generations, and he has been... Where has the generations gone? He definitely is that centre-back. Like, you look at this version, immense. The one before, even the one before that, before play styles were even a thing. He is that presence. He's, what, 6'3", 6'4"? I don't even know what he is. He's 6 foot. Yeah, 6 foot. I thought he was 6'4". He's a big old centre-back. Great physicality, great defending, solid pace for such a big defender as well. It may not be the top of the top, but it's definitely up there to say the least. You throw the shadow on him, which is going to be kind of normal. You got yourself a 92 rated centre-back, or 92.5. I think he is going to be up there once we start seeing upgrades. We are getting him in the Captain of Football promo, whatever that is going to be titled. So he will be getting an upgrade. Whether it takes him to his best, we will see. But the gold, I think you could probably put him as like a top 6, top 7 now, rather than a guaranteed 1. We do also have Giuly. Personally for me, a great upgrade for him. He has got the chance to potentially go up. As we see, he can get a 1 upgrade, or a 1 overall upgrade, a role plus, and 2 playstyles, which he already has quite a few of them, to be fair. So if they do manage to win 2 matches, could we see an upgrade from it to an 88 at 68k? Whether we see him drop down that little bit more, he is kind of plateauing a little bit more now from his 120 hype, but I think he's a nice card. His 86 was still decent enough, but we have now changed the acrobatic, which I think was a main problem with him, to a finesse shot, which is absolutely massive. He is obviously right-footed, but has still got the 4-star weak foot, so very nice on the inside still. Definitely could do with the 5 at some point, but we're going to be talking future plans for that anyway. We then have Guler, a beautiful SBC. I like to kind of throw in a couple of SBCs, but not enough to kind of rub everybody's face in it, because some people just don't finish all of them. And naturally, he was one of the ones that I think, now looking back at him, solid one. Real Madrid links. Naturally, you will need more kind of La Liga players in general, because you're going to have to, with the fact that Turkey probably don't have many players that you're going to go with. Yildiz probably one of them, actually. He's pretty solid. And probably Calhanoglu as well. If you're going for the kind of Serie A La Liga route's not going to be too bad. Yildiz most definitely is really hitting the game running. But regardless, Real Madrid's very easy to link with. There is so many players that are on everybody's list. I don't think that's going to be without a question, to be honest. And I think as we look at him as a cam, we're pretty much now just missing a Playstyle Plus, and you've got yourself an absolute world beater. I don't think there's really many that you could get at this point as an SBC for 70,000 that would do the job that he can do. So absolutely wonderful one. We did say about Cucurella, I think left backs are starting to get up there most definitely, and we are getting evolutions as well. Evolutions are really picking up again to be able to get like a Robinson, a Carquez up to these sorts of heights in terms of overall. And I do think Cucurella's upgrade with the little bit of pace that he managed to get has changed him massively. He's well worth the money, especially if you are a Chelsea fan. You can easily put him in and he'll get the job done. There's not necessarily a set list of left backs where I'm like, that is number 1, unless you're talking icons. Like, I really want a bit of Marcelo. Roberto Carlos obviously has got to be on that list, but naturally when we look at kind of your Premier League, your La Liga, there's a couple from each. Like Balde's got a nice upgrade. Ferland Mendy can go into an evolution, like we said with Carquez, with Robinson, with Undogi as well, could be another evolution. There's slowly but surely being more upgrades to it, and Cucurella's been there for the longest, so very interesting to see where he could progress as well, especially when the 86 starting to get upgrades also. Kounde, easy one to throw in. Centre-back, right-back. I've personally got him as the right-back just purely on the fact I love the Jockey Plus on a fullback. It works so well, especially this year, where a lot of people are either bombing down the side and trying to cut it that way. He's very good at closing that gap with the Jockey Plus, but then he's also good to cover the inside as well. We obviously know when players have got Finesse Shot Plus, they're looking for the low driven on the inside. He's got that ability to be able to shift it with the Playstyle Plus very, very well. So I'm not surprised that he's still coming in at 73, and even then, he was at a pretty decent price. Like, he's only dropped half. You think of someone like Smith, or Wilson, in fact, who's come from the 400k mark, and is now 30. He was only 170 at the start of the game and is still only dropped half, which I think is a big compliment to the card. And same with De Jong, another one. Throw himself in the middle, him and Reijnders, him and anybody, to be honest. De Jong is a fantastic centre mid. Ever since the Team of the Year that he managed to get, it's really kind of elevated? No. Say the word with me. Elevated. It is elevated, isn't it? Did I get it wrong? I don't know. But you know what I mean. In terms of kind of when we got that card, I think, was it FIFA 19? It might have been before that. Was it 21 or 20? I can't remember who was with him. It was him and somebody that did really well. I want to say it might have been 19 or 20 before that. I don't know why they got rid of all these, but he got the Team of the Year, and that kind of really put him on the map. Like, he's been a very consistent 87 across the board. So he has been wonderful in every scenario. And again, like Kounde, came in at a pretty hyped price. He was a little bit more expensive at that 200k mark, and is slowly coming down, but naturally still at 75,000 really does show how good these cards can truly be. We obviously then have another Frankie. Now we have Goretzka. Very good for the Bundesliga teams. Naturally, Kimmich has been brilliant. We are seeing, is it Pavlovic? Another one that's kind of emerging through the Bayern ranks. We are seeing him in the midfield. I guarantee one more button is going to make me... No, beautiful. We've obviously got Kimmich as the 89. We've got him as a gold 89. Musiala, fantastic card. We have Pavlovic, who can get a double upgrade up into the 89s as well. And then if you've got a Goretzka, that again could be potential for a lovely upgrade. We've had a few different upgrades that you could throw on him. This one is the Musiala one. So whether I'd wait and see for another upgrade with him. Maybe we get some sort of Rodri upgrade, or even just more of a box-to-box. I think Modric is due one. I think there's like a Modric themed evolution coming very soon. That could suit him pretty well. Whether we will probably want a bit more defending with him, but even then, go with the attacking side of stuff. You've kind of got Kimmich and Pavlovic being the DMs. You could throw him into a box-to-box with ease. Di Lorenzo, beautiful card. Always like him as a right back. Him and Dumfries kind of battle it out in the Serie A. Dumfries does have a card as well, but I think it needs still a slight upgrade. But you can argue between the toss between both of them. I think they both offer what you actually need. But Di Lorenzo can play that centre-back as well, which if you are either playing for a 3-back or a 5-back in the whole traditional Serie A style, then you're absolutely in for a winner. Even then, throwing in a bit of mixed sauce, Incisive Plus, early on as well, a rating refresh, very nice stat upgrade, going into the 87, gets himself a playstyle plus. Only thing he's missing, I could even deal with the 3-star skills. A 4-star weak foot would have been perfect for this card personally, but a very, very nice box-to-box to say the least. You throw the engine on him, which it's obviously looking at. You get yourself your controlled run type, 88 overall, absolute magic when it comes to the midfield. You throw like a Calhanoglu with him as well. You throw like a Reijnders, if you can link them together. You get that kind of passing midfield that does the absolute work. Capdevila was the other one that I'm thinking of. A very, very nice card, under 100k. In terms of a left back, he's always been solid. The previous cards that he's had, every single one of them has been brilliant. We didn't get much last year, and even the year before that, but it was this year that I managed to get the World Tour one, or the World Cup one. Then we obviously moved on to the captain, and then the footies. Hopefully we see an upgrade for him soon. Di Natale managed to get himself an upgrade, and he never gets one. So I'm hoping Capdevila can get one soon, and hopefully they do spread the hero upgrades a lot more. It seems like they're going heavy on them already, so I'm hoping that does mean we could see a Capdevila upgrade at some point. But he's been fantastic. He's a great left back. He's now coming down in price, which I think is what we need for a lot of them. He's not 200k, but I could definitely get behind like a 50 to 70,000 if we're looking for the heroes. Throwing in another SBC, I really like Davinson Sanchez this year. His pace really kind of stunned me to start with. From an 82 gold, you could even just throw him into an upgrade from there. We obviously have got the chance of a double upgrade with him, which would be phenomenal. Whether Galatasaray is going to do enough, that's going to be the big question, whether you put the faith in them with that SBC. I think if you look at the Turkish league, you look even Colombian. There's a few solid Colombian players out there. You got like obviously heroes Cordoba, but then even this guy who I think features very soon, Luis Diaz, Cuadrado. Then you've got more of the kind of heroes with Barbo, and then you kind of have the Cabal as well. There's actually a decent amount that you could link with, so there is a potential for him to do some wonders if you want to do that SBC. When it again comes into more prime time. Kone is very nice across the board. Great dribbling, solid on everything. What the lowest is his pace at 81, then it's 82, 84, 86. A very, very controlled player, and there's multiple ways you can kind of treat him. Obviously, the shadow is going to be what people have voted for the most. You get the 87 defending, 87 pace. As a box-to-box, we're looking at an 87.4, holding plus 86.8. And there's a still chance of a double upgrade. Roma, pretty decent across tournaments, so whether we see enough in that Europa League to get even just a little one could be a very nice choice for him. Felix, now he's coming in at 95. There is now kind of right at the end of the 100,000. I think Felix is one of them that you're just going to keep getting more and more upgrades with him. In terms of Saudi, the Saudi League is already shaping up quite nicely for all the players involved. CR7 getting an upgrade. He's going to get another one on top of it. We've seen Fabinho with the new season pass. Obviously, Big Boy Ben's in the Ultimate Scream. Then we've had Felix. We've got not icons, we've got heroes, we've got more upgrades from the season pass. It's just going from strength to strength. We'll see a Conte before too long, a Cancelo, a Neves, a Savic. There's going to be plenty of upgrades, and I do think Felix is one that you could either potentially go from the very start or even potentially look at the 84 instead. Lots and lots of choices with him that I do think he puts himself into good contentions. And Rios as well, 87 with the Enforcer Plus. It is the Enforcer Plus, isn't it? I know there's two. Or is it the Aerial? Where's the playstyle? Enforcer Plus. I did think so. I can't remember what the Aerial Plus looks or the Aerial Fortress one looks like. But again, another very well-rounded centre mid. To say he again can do another upgrade. Benfica, can they make it in the Champions League? It's going to be the interesting debate that we'll have. Throw the anchor on him. 88, 84, 91 with the Enforcer as a box-to-box. Box crasher, holder, deep line playmaker. They are some very good stats that can potentially do it. And again, Colombian, if you're throwing in a Davinson Sanchez link, a Luis Diaz link, you're going to look pretty good across the board. And if you manage to get a Cordoba from the hero pack, you're pretty much absolutely laughing. Failing that, an Ababa will do you down to the ground as well. We then have the other side of the PSG in Hakimi, now dropping down under that 100k limit. One of the more favoured right backs, one of the highest rated right backs we can get, was obviously coming in at a pretty penny at the start of the game, coming in at 260, 200 kind of within the first couple of weeks, and now slowly dipping down as we go into it. Like I said, right back and left backs don't have a crazy amount of options, so it is always about waiting for them evolutions, them SBCs, them promos to eventually come out and slowly drop the absolute top. But Hakimi's, again, very much like Nuno Mendes, is an attacking wingback, so isn't necessarily my style, but I mean, you could still absolutely take him and he'll do a job anywhere you want. Then we also have Caicedo. Now, there's obviously two versions. I think the Inform is absolutely wonderful. The only thing that I have with the Inform that could be better is the fact that he got the Power Shot Plus. Now, obviously, he did get that because of the goal. That's fair enough. I'm not going to say he didn't deserve the Power Shot Plus. The goal was phenomenal. But I would have liked going in for the slide tackle still, or even change it for like an intercept. If we could throw that for him, it would make him just wonderful. He's kind of becoming more that DM, the Prem DM Conte sort of vibe. And even in Chelsea as well. Absolutely brilliant position for him. The defending ability, he's got a bit of pace on him still. You've got the passing and dribbling that can be executed also. He is like that pacier version than Rice, for instance. So I've really liked him in the middle. He's slowly coming out of form though, because I've only got the gold. So I am starting to see maybe a little bit of a slip and maybe need to upgrade him at some point. Maybe the midfield in general needs a little bit of a change around anyway. But it's an interesting card to see what you could actually get out of him once we start to see a bit more of an upgrade. And I got to throw him in just because he's there. And Mbeumo is absolutely brilliant. Whether I think he's worth 100k, I'd possibly be looking just at like the 70k or even, I mean, to be honest, I like the freestyle week for the very minimum over a 2, but even 70,000 for the SBC is not terrible. He's obviously got himself the game changer versus the power shot. The Ultimate Scream 99 card is gone now, but still a wonderful right wing if you can get him for Prem. He's just that little bit cheaper than Salah, but better than the likes of Saka and kind of under him, or waiting for that upgrade for someone like an Elanga, who could be fantastic. Gordon did get himself an upgrade, which is brilliant as well. But I do think with Mbeumo, he's going to be one that hopefully fingers crossed, does continue getting these upgrades. But I do think the Ultimate Scream has done really well. The upgrade on him for just the amount of rolls that he's got is absolutely brilliant as well. So there is lots of levels that you can try him with, and he's very versatile from that right down the middle. So I do think he's worth at least a mention. Whether he's the number one option, probably not, but at least a mention at the very minimum, because he can only get cheaper. Now the campaign pick is including Screams, we could potentially see a lot of them dropping down in price as well. So let me know down below if you'd like to see a 50. Possibly this Sunday, we'll kind of go through some of the golds, and then again we can have a look next week at some high budget stuff in the 200, 300k mark, because after that, it's pretty much just icons. Let me know what you think, subscribe, like, comment, and I'll catch you for the next one. Peace.